Do you know the number one thing that surprises engaged couples? Take a guess. The sheer amount of decisions they have to make while planning a wedding. Indoors or outdoors? How many guests? Are kids invited? Controversial. Which cake flavor? Seriously, how do you even begin to figure out what's right for you? That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to make every wedding decision a piece of cake, from choosing your dream wedding venue and vendors to deciding how to best spend your budget. With tons of customizable wedding websites, save the dates and invites, every detail will feel like you. Zola will even help you choose the gifts, experiences, and cash funds you really want. The next thing you know, you've planned your whole wedding all in one place. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com.
Good sleep should come naturally, and with a new Natural Hybrid mattress, it can. A collaboration between Lisa and West Elm, the Natural Hybrid is expertly crafted from natural latex, natural wool, and certified safe foams to elevate your sleep sanctuary and support a greener tomorrow. Breathable organic cotton and moisture-wicking Joma wool consistently provide cool and comfortable slumber. Every purchase helps fuel Lisa's work with shelters and those in need. Visit Lisa.com to learn more. That's LEESA.com.
Of the quantum mechanics of paranormal. Welcome to Alchemy Radio. I am Iyes. I present you a podcast of the quantum mechanics of paranormal events.
Hi everyone. We're introducing a new series, the Paranormal series, and within and through the series, what we're going to be exploring and what you're going to be discovering is the existence of the quantum physical. And this level of existence, the quantum physical, is where consciousness as energy and the physical as manifested solidity meets, and how that absolutely merged relationship between physical solidity and quantum energy, where that relationship is merged and manifested, how it is within that realm of our existence. We can, for example, create voices to exist and be heard within a room. Ghosts as beings or human forms or projections can be created within an environment. how it is that through an individual or a group of human beings with a particular starting point in their minds and imaginations when approaching a room or an environment or a building or a particular site, can within that, actually within the environment or room or site or building, create on a quantum physical level an actual materialization of a ghost or a voice that can be heard by everyone involved. So within this, we're going to open up more materializations into physical reality that in fact originated from the imaginations or minds of human beings, that then materialized or manifested into actual physical reality. With this, what should have been common sense is existent within the principle of as within, so without. In other words, if one have a look at one's imagination, what one is creating and manifesting is the materialization of the interdimensional. Anywhere one can close one's eyes and imagine humans, imagine scenes, imagine environments where one can hear another human being's voice, everything in absolute detail. It is a interdimensional representation of actual physical reality within one's own mind, within one's own physical body. It is an actual materialization that, with that being possible to manifest within one's mind, as within, so without, that one can create, manifest, and materialize into physical reality the interdimensional, such as hearing voices in detail, such as seeing beings in detail, such as actually creating a being, a ghost, a human projection, and being able to give it characteristics and a history and a demeanor and features. So within this, we're going to explore how what we create and manifest in our minds through imagination as the interdimensional representation of physical reality, we do exactly the same in actual physical reality, in particular physical environments. So within this, before we start, we have to here have a look at definitions. What we mean by the quantum physical, and within this, now understand here that this is the quantum physical in the sense of that actual base relationship of physicality and quantum or interdimensional energy. It is this primary relationship between consciousness and the physical body that makes it possible for us to predominantly exist in the mind or consciousness and so separate from the physical body. And what's fascinating here is that equation, that relationship between quantum energy and physicality is so minute, yet that difference between quantum energy that dominates physicality even though so small, so fine, so minute, makes the relationship between the mind and the physical in the separation that we exist as now so absolute, in the sense that if one really have a look at one's relationship to the physical body, there exists none whatsoever. There is not an awareness of even one's own breathing, as the sounding and resounding of the heartbeat within the physical body, the movement of the blood, the processes of all the organs, microorganisms, chemicals. The physical body is an entire existence in itself, right here, that is alive within us, and yet there is no attention, relationship, consideration, or regard. Too preoccupied in the...
Do you know the number one thing that surprises engaged couples? Take a guess. The sheer amount of decisions they have to make while planning a wedding. Indoors or outdoors? How many guests? Are kids invited? Controversial. Which cake flavor? Seriously, how do you even begin to figure out what's right for you? That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to make every wedding decision a piece of cake, from choosing your dream wedding venue and vendors to deciding how to best spend your budget. With tons of customizable wedding websites, save the dates, and invites, every detail will feel like you. Zola will even help you choose the gifts, experiences, and cash funds you really want. The next thing you know, you've planned your whole wedding all in one place. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com.
Good sleep should come naturally, and with a new natural hybrid mattress, it can. A collaboration between Lisa and West Elm, the natural hybrid is expertly crafted from natural latex, natural wool, and certified safe foams to elevate your sleep sanctuary and support a greener tomorrow. Breathable organic cotton and moisture-wicking Joma wool consistently provide cool and comfortable slumber. Every purchase helps fuel Lisa's work with shelters and those in need. Visit lisa.com to learn more. That's LEESA.com.
Illusion that is consciousness or mind. A really interesting point or relationship to consider here, that we have a live, living organism right here with and as us, yet there's no relationship existent to and towards and with it. But we would believe our minds, our thoughts, our imaginations, our memories, our internal conversations to hold more power in terms of who, how, what, and why we are and how we react to it, to define us, to determine us, and so our existence within our life and living experience. So we're going to show you within this process of walking the paranormal, what is really missed within this physical reality. And I'm sure, many human beings would listen to these interviews and find it, how should we say, way out there. But again, I simply reference the simple common sense of one's awareness, in fact, being the thing that is way out there in consciousness, when what we're going to be walking in the series is what is really, in fact, happening on a quantum physical level in this real physical existence, but is not seen, realized, and understood due to the separation from and of it. So, therefore, I would really suggest, if any such thoughts or backchats would emerge within and during the series, to really bring oneself back to the point of the fact that, but how can you in fact have any particular assumption or opinion or judgment based on what is shown to exist on a quantum physical level if you yourself are not yet even aware of such an existence, and the fact that you have no equal and one relationship to your physical body, let alone even your unconscious mind and quantum mind, and therefore thus now the quantum physical. Everyone is still preoccupied in listening to illusions such as thoughts and backchats and emotions and feelings, primarily consisting of and existing as energy, while there's an entire living universe or existence right here as the real physical body. So let us start with defining what we mean by quantum physical. So one have to understand that physicality in itself is also existent within a quantified substance, in the sense that the physical body now, in our relationship to it, seems very solid in, well, basically this entire physical existence seem very solid. And therefore, one can also have a look at simply the relationship to imagination within oneself. How can the interdimensional as imagination exist within something that is solid as your physical body? Imaginations are also like ghosts, are they not? In the sense that imaginations is something that only you can see. It is not something that can be physically analyzed or dissected. Same with thoughts, same with memories. They're all ghostly, paranormal manifestations haunting our minds. And, so the same with ghosts and hauntings and voices that exist within a physical environment. They are interdimensional manifestations within a physical reality. Now, with this, we're not saying that hauntings and ghosts and voices being heard did not really exist. It did. In terms of, in the past, there being actual beings that haunted a particular environment, and various types and kinds of such beings, some of them benevolent, others demonic, others merely presences, which were like in between being a being and a demon, in the sense of not having a particular definition to it. It was more like a dark substance, which you, for example, get in terms of like poltergeists. And so we're gonna slowly but surely within this paranormal series walk through what exactly and how exactly such manifestations did exist in the past. However, how it is now still being created, but through the human mind based on memories. And how for most part, very little of explorations into the paranormal, like hauntings for example, were actual beings, how much were in fact creations of humans, an individual or a group, through their own minds, even to the point of being able to move doors, being able to move physical objects simply based on the relationship to the mind, the quantification of energy, the vibratory force that manifests within the physical body, that sends a resonance wave through physical space and time that can be so strong that it is in fact you yourself that is moving doors, that is moving objects, that is throwing lamps or books or things like that. And within this we'll get into also more explaining how the ghosts or hauntings or poltergeists or demons, things like that, did occupy a physical environment in the sense of being able to move things, and how and why them being able to do it, as well as you being able to do it, is no different. They were interdimensional quantum energy manifestations that learned a particular relationship with physicality, with physical space-time, with the quantum physical, if you will. And therefore, how in your consciousness do exactly the same. As I've said, your entire mind, your imaginations, your memories, your thoughts, everything consists of the substance of energy, interdimensional quantum energy. And with forming a particular relationship between that of your mind and your physical body into your quantum physical, you can actually, in physical reality, move objects, open doors, close doors, create a haunting in a room, but it is in fact you being the stimulus that is creating and manifesting it. So with this, getting back into, for a substance to have an influence on another substance, there has to be a form of a relationship existent between the two. In other words, if one have a look at the relationship between the mind and the physical body, what we have explained within interviews is that your consciousness consists of and exists as the substance of your physical body.
Do you know the number one thing that surprises engaged couples? Take a guess. The sheer amount of decisions they have to make while planning a wedding. Indoors or outdoors? How many guests? Are kids invited? Controversial. Which cake flavor? Seriously, how do you even begin to figure out what's right for you? That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to make every wedding decision a piece of cake, from choosing your dream wedding venue and vendors to deciding how to best spend your budget. With tons of customizable wedding websites, save the dates and invites, every detail will feel like you. Zola will even help you choose the gifts, experiences, and cash funds you really want. The next thing you know, you've planned your whole wedding all in one place. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com.
Good sleep should come naturally, and with the new Natural Hybrid mattress, it can. A collaboration between Lisa and West Elm, the Natural Hybrid is expertly crafted from natural latex, natural wool, and certified safe foams to elevate your sleep sanctuary and support a greener tomorrow. Breathable organic cotton and moisture-wicking Joma wool consistently provide cool and comfortable slumber. Every purchase helps fuel Lisa's work with shelters and those in need. Visit lisa.com to learn more. That's LEESA.com.
Your physical body consists of and exists as the substance of the mind. So there is an equal and one merging between your consciousness and your physical body. There are ingredients, if you will, of physicality existent in your consciousness, and there are ingredients of consciousness existent in physicality. This is how the two in relationship with each other can influence each other. If the two were completely separate, it would be exceptionally difficult for any one of the substances to have an influence on the other. And thus, with that base merging relationship between consciousness energy and physical solidity, there that influence or effect within each other can exist and manifest. Now, how does that work? Understand, here we're going into levels of our existence that human consciousness is not yet aware of, but with practical illustrations and explanations and analogies and comparisons that we'll utilize, one will slowly but surely start seeing with as we go through all the levels of our existence into the quantum physical. Now, this relationship between the physical and the mind, one simply have to have a look at something as simple as when you go into an emotional or feeling reaction. Obviously, if one have a look at the sciences of today in terms of explaining how emotional and feeling energy is created, all they've basically come up with is theories, but not yet actual practical, commonsensical explanations. So within this, how your emotional and feeling energy is created, this was walked in the Quantum Mind interview series in regards to how your mind, every time you think, every time you have an imagination, every time you react in emotions and feelings, your entire consciousness is like this presence that is merged into the depths of the solidity and multi-dimensions of your physical body. And what it does is that energy actually resource itself from the solidity, the substance, the structure, and the manifestation, the multi-dimensions of your physical body. This would mean thus that the relationship and the substance of energy and the substance of your physical body is different. Here we're also getting into some history with regards to the existence of the human being in terms of how your relationship between your mind and your physical body had come to exist in the separation that it exists now. And with that, what is energy and what is physicality, and why is that relationship separate? Where does the quantum energy, the interdimensionality come from that exists in your physical body, and how had it come to exist in the physical body? Here one can also reference the history of mankind interview series. Understand that many human beings might conceive of taking, or this being taken a step too far, in the sense that, you know, the history of humanity, there existing, you know, so many. However, we're going to explain to you within the series the correlations and the detail, in the sense that prove how your mind-physical relationship exists exactly as what ghosts, as what hauntings, as what the entire paranormal reality, in physical reality, in the relationship of as within, as without. You're going to see the similarities in detail. Within this, getting to now the mind-physical relationship. Why is this important to understand? Because what is obviously relevant is that your mind consists of a different substance as what your physical body does. I mean, it would have looked exceptionally strange if one had, for example, thoughts and manifestations in your mind, like we had like this separate physical growth from our head coming to the outside, you know, to the side, that surrounds your normal head. And then in this, what materialize physically is all your thoughts and imaginations and back chats and fantasies and internal conversations and words and memories, and how everything's activating, and it's physical. I mean, it can be touched, it can be experimented with and assessed and autopsied and all those type of things, but it's not existing as such. Our minds are of an interdimensional, multidimensional quantum energy substance. Now, why quantum energy? Because if you have a look at how fast your mind can move in comparison to physical reality. And here's also another point of evidence with regards to why we would really suggest having a listen to this interview series, in the sense that one's mind moves so fast that one do not really in fact know how it is possible for your thoughts to materialize in your consciousness, your memories. Where are they stored? How are they stored? Do they always exist as they do when they come into your consciousness? Are the memories somewhere filed or located or stored in the consciousness itself, in the physical body itself? How do they pattern themselves or save themselves within the physical body? Do their patterning or their existence and their resonance and their energy and their content and the playing of that content affect the physical body in any way whatsoever? What is it within me that really manifests what it is that automatically come up within me? So, I mean, there's a lot of relationships that one can consider with one's mind and consciousness, even on a conscious mind level, that one do not understand, and so can assist and support oneself to be open to there in fact existing much, much more than what one could have initially conceived. So with this, you have thus quantum energy, quantum meaning the pace, the one can call the space and time of the mind in which you exist. It moves very fast. One moment you're thinking about this, then memories of that's coming up, then you're reacting to those remembrances, then a relationship is activated, then you think about relationships, and then you're into your future, and then you go back to school, and then you're thinking about your parents, and then you're thinking about the past, and then you're back to money, and then you're back to future again. I mean, it's a constant, continuous quantum movement within your mind, all the while missing physical space-time, missing breathing, missing the very physical movement, pace, walking of your physical, how physical reality is really in fact moving. So with this, we now have a quantum energy existence as the mind within physical solidity. Yet that quantum energy existence can affect physical solidity in the sense that, let's say you're thinking about a memory that's coming up in your quantum time energy domain in your conscious mind, yet that memory is charged with a particular emotion and feeling. You think about the memory, you react to it, you feel that reactive response physically. So therefore, illustrating that there is a definite relationship connection within that quantum energy to have an effect on physical solidity and what you're physically experiencing. However, within this as well, we're going to get to explaining how that physical reaction that you're having is not really a physical reaction into the depths of the real physical body. Your physical is more reacting based on a surface platformed relationship between itself and what we refer to as the quantum physical. So you have the real physical, and then you have the quantum physical. The quantum physical is like a surface membrane that surrounds and is existent within and as and upon the real physical body. And this quantum physical is that base relationship that I mentioned earlier between the quantum energy of your mind and then physicality, where in that base relationship, what's being created there is that your real physical is being resourced, the substance of the real physical, that substance that substantiate the physical body into the multi-dimensional layering that constitute its solidity, that is being utilized and resourced to create a quantum physical membrane where quantum energy and physicality meet to essentially create a representation and existence of the physical body and its relationship to your consciousness, where consciousness would be the dominant force that would always be able to control the physical and its relationship to and as the real physical. So one is quite taken afar from the relationship with one's real physical body. I mean, that's why it feels like you're in the body, but you're not in any way whatsoever. Like you can feel, your body is moving and you can move your physical body, but anything deeper than that, than simply moving and motioning the mechanics of the physical body. It's quite fascinating if you ever look. Your only relationship really to the physical body is the mechanics thereof. It's not really into the depths, the substances, the manifestations, the organisms, all that is living of the physical body. There's no equal and one relationship existent within it, only to the fact that you use it. And so therefore that core relationship of separation is existent on that level where a quantum physical body was created. That quantum physical is the absolute merged relationship between your quantum energy and actual real physicality. And in that merging and in that relationship had created a level of existence where the mind has the power to manipulate physicality through using energy and the force of energy in its relationship to substance. So what we mean by substance is, in this we're getting into the level of our existence of what it is that made it possible for physicality to become solid. I mean, obviously, again, getting into the question, why was the mind never solidified? Why is our consciousness never solidified? In terms of the thoughts we have, the memories we have, imaginations, the internal conversations, the reactions of emotions and feelings. What determined throughout the history of human existence for that part of our existence to remain interdimensional, yet our physical body to remain solid? And this we get to the different substances of energy and substance as physicality, in terms of how energy is in fact a derivative of substance, of your physical body. In other words, one can essentially say that your consciousness, your mind, is created from an energy that is resourced and produced from a relationship to substance, to your physical body. So your physical body essentially creates your mind, but yet your mind controls the physical body. And it sounds like an interestingly odd relationship in terms of how you've got a creator and its creation, but at the moment it's the creation of the creator is controlling the creator. And within this, it is simply because of the equative relationships of how much more energy had been produced by substance, by your physical body, the quantum energy, and the relationships the quantum energy had created in relationships to its creator as the physical, as substance, that gives it the power, if you will, to have control, directive force, and determining influence on its creator as substance, as the physical body. Alright, so now one have got a bit more in relation to understanding quantum energy, what we mean by that. and then physicality, and the two different substances of energy, quantum energy and substance as physicality, and how it is in fact your physical body that is producing the energy that substantiates your consciousness or mind in the relationship between energy and substance, or energy and physicality. I would here strongly suggest investing in the Quantum Mind interview series. In the Quantum Mind interview series, this relationship is explained in absolute detail. So I would not, if one had not listened to the Quantum Mind interview series, I would not simply now stop listening to this series. All of it will still make sense, even though one do not yet understand that base relationship. But for further research, not to now give in or give up simply because one do not yet understand that base relationship, because there's a lot more interesting things to come that one will be able to comprehend and understand commonsensically. But for further investigation, research, understanding, and perspective, we would suggest investing in the Quantum Mind interview series, where this relationship is explained in detail. I essentially went into it now to understand these two primary points. One, that you exist in two different worlds, two separate worlds, in the quantum energy and physicality. Within those two separate worlds, the quantum energy world has got power, directive principle, control, and determining influence on the physical body. Now, this is important to understand when we get into explaining how the paranormal is created, with the interdimensional, with the quantum energy having directive principle and a determining influence on physical reality, and how that works. Right, thank you very much. Hi everyone. We're introducing a
Good sleep should come naturally, and with a new natural hybrid mattress, it can. A collaboration between Lisa and West Elm, the natural hybrid is expertly crafted from natural latex, natural wool, and certified safe foams to elevate your sleep sanctuary and support a greener tomorrow. Breathable organic cotton and moisture-wicking Joma wool consistently provide cool and comfortable slumber. Every purchase helps fuel Lisa's work with shelters and those in need. Visit lisa.com to learn more. That's LEESA.com.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.